Hey guys, welcome back to a 5280 Sports News segment. This time we're going back to the Broncos. Haven't done one of these in a while, but there hasn't been a ton of news. But now we have a lot to talk about. There is a lot to go over in this segment, as you can tell. However, we'll go over it as best we can. Anyway, guys, we don't have much time to waste. Let's get right into it. This is 5280 Sports News. What's going on, Mile High City? Welcome back to 5280 Sports News. I am your host, Anchor Caleb Malden. So, we're back to the Broncos. Haven't talked about the Broncos in a little while, but whatever. We have a lot to talk about right now, so let's get right down to it. So, first off, to start this news cycle, let's just get this right out of the way. It's a bit of old news, but I still have to go over it. Justin Simmons will be playing under the franchise tag for the 2020 season. Now, I have mixed feelings about this because, first off, I do think that we needed to sign Simmons. I think he definitely earned a contract deal. I think he's definitely worth the money we're going to be paying him. And with all of COVID, if the cap is going down next year, then that may definitely hurt our chances to really re-sign him, because we also have Philip Lindsay coming up for contract next year. We have some free agents we have to sign. So this is going to be very interesting depending on how much the cap will go down, if it goes down in 2021. Now, at the same time, the only reason I can understand is why Denver wouldn't sign him is that maybe this was like, they consider this the first year Justin Simmons put out elite level production, and they want to see more of that. They want to see another year of elite level production from Justin Simmons, and then they'll pay him like an elite level safety. They want to see another year out of it. I think personally they should have signed him this year, but if that's what they're going to wait out on, I still think Simmons is going to produce. I still think he will, and he's definitely worth the money. Now, if you haven't paid attention, you know that the NFL has pretty much cut preseason entirely. We will not be having a preseason this year, and I have mixed feelings on that as well. Look, I get it. We all hate the preseason. It sucks. To us, it's not real football. It's just boring. These are stupid games that nobody cares about. But the players need these games, guys. They need this to help get set in the system, get their feet wet, get a feeling of what it's like to play NFL ball. These guys need those preseason games. They need all those games. You can't just stunt their growth, because that is essentially what this is going to do. It's going to stunt a lot of growth. They're going to basically just have an extended training camp through August. In my opinion, that's the best way to do it, so we can evaluate who to cut, who to not. I get it that fans don't love watching preseason games. We want to get those over with, get to real football, but at the same time, preseason games are needed on the field. And at this point, I think we've had no sports for such a long time, and even though they're coming back, we would take preseason football. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about no preseason in the comments below. I'm mixed because I think the players need it. So, anyways, also, so now the NFL has opted to give players an opt-out for COVID and health reasons and all that. Now, they have until Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to opt out, which I think is a good idea, to give a deadline to opt out. Like, if by that point you haven't opted out, you're acknowledging, okay, we know the risks going in. We know what's going to happen, but we're going in. That's a good idea in my opinion. And if you missed, Broncos right tackle Juwan James has opted out. This makes me a little pissed off because we paid him a lot of money in free agency, and this will be his second year of not playing, even though there was indications he was going to be healthy, able to play this year. This does leave a big hole on the right side. I think we could do fine personally without him. We played fine without him last year. Would we definitely be better with him? Absolutely. But good teams will adjust. I hope Elijah Wilkerson is ready to take on the load. Garrett Bowles, congratulations. This means you're pretty much guaranteed a starting left tackle spot unless we sign a free agent, or maybe Netane Moody, if they're able to move him to tackle, possibly. He comes out of nowhere. Young guys are going to have to step up, but Kyle Pecco, backup defensive tackle, also opted out of this year, which means Mike Purcell Shelby Harris will really have to help carry the load, but signing Jarrell Casey is going to help that matter. So this is going to be interesting. So far, all the main core contributors that we need to stick around have stuck around. They have stuck around. This is going to be interesting. If you've seen, like, the Patriots are pretty much dropping like flies right now due to opt-outs. Not that anyone feels bad for the New England Patriots, but this is going to be interesting, guys. This is going to be a really fascinating season. Whether we're going to put an asterisk on this year, like whoever wins the Super Bowl, I'm not like, yeah, they won the Super Bowl, but a lot of the opponents that they would have had to face were really weak due to COVID or injuries or I don't know what. This is going to be really weird, guys. It's going to be a really weird football season. I mean, I'll take it anyway. It's better than no football, but it's going to be really weird. The offseason programs have been pretty much wrecked. And even though training camps are going to help Drew Lock, we don't know if he's had time to get the chemistry with guys like Hamler, Sutton, Judy. We don't know how that's going to turn out. I really hope that he's able to stay consistent. I actually do think there was actually a brilliant video made about Drew Lock by a YouTuber named Kollmann. You guys may have heard of him. He does film room stuff. I recommend checking out his video, and I agree with a lot of points in it. Speaking of Drew Lock, let's talk about him for a little bit. Will this COVID offseason hurt Drew? In a few ways, absolutely. It's going to hurt a lot of guys. Like, you'll see, I think you will see some sloppy play at the start of the season. Granted, there always kind of is some sloppy play through the first couple weeks as guys kind of get back into the shape of things. But I do think September will be a bit of a sloppy month for everyone because of the stinted offseason and all the weird stuff that's been shortened and no OTAs. This is going to be weird going into this, going into the early parts of this season. So don't panic if things don't look quite buttoned up. I mean, if Drew Lock and the offense figures it out real quick, hey, good, that's good. We need them to figure it out as quick as we can. But don't expect a ton of tightened up football because that's just not realistic considering all of the circumstances. Also, going into this year, we did release tight end Jeff Hireman. This was a cut I expected to happen because you have Noah Fant, who is the obvious starter going into the year. They drafted Drew Lock's teammate Alberto Guegbonam, who's obviously more of a receiving threat. He's got more speed to him. He's like Noah Fant, more of an athlete. I think that's clearly the direction the Broncos are going in. They are going more with athletic tight ends and run-blocking tight ends. We signed Van Nett from the Steelers in the offseason. I expect more cuts to come. Guys like maybe Andrew Beck and Fumagalli might be next on the chopping block. It sucks to see Hireman go. I think he'll probably land on his feet somewhere, but this is the nature of the game. This is unfortunately the way it goes, and the big thing I am looking for when it comes to cuts this year is going to be the wide receiving core, because Hamler and Judy were brought in to really help solidify the core. Sutton's obviously the number one, but now there's a lot of guys up in the air like Tim Patrick, Deshaun Hamilton, Jawan Winfrey, Deontay Spencer. There's a lot of names up in the air. Would I hate to see some of these guys go? Yeah, especially guys like Hamilton and Patrick. I think they showed some real promise last year that they could take a step forward and be real number one receivers. They could definitely earn that roster spot. But in my opinion, we can't waste our roster spots on a lot of talented players when we will have needs elsewhere. For example, right tackle. Who knows? Maybe Elijah Wilkinson really can help out with Mike Munchak's coaching and he becomes a good starting right tackle. Or he doesn't, and we're going to need a right tackle desperately. We may need to sign a guy out of free agency, and we may need to cut a wide receiver or an unneeded depth at a skill position to make room for that roster spot. Who knows what's going to happen? Because it's all going to depend on how they play. Now, I am not pissed that the Broncos didn't sign Jason Peters. He's a guy really on the twilight of his career, maybe 1-2 years left out of him, and who even knows if he'll be the same. He'll be playing right now, currently a guard right now for the Eagles, which is going to be fine. I mean, he's a veteran. He may learn how to adjust, but I'm fine with us not signing him because who knows if he'd really be the same with all those injuries, with all the years and wear and tear on his body, and who knows how much he would have been commanding, but that is that. Anyways, with some players opting out, at least so far it's only 2 for Denver. One of them mainly a depth piece, one of them a big position. Hopefully Wilkerson will step up at right tackle. You guys let me know in the comments below what you want to see done about right tackle, what you think can happen. I do think we need to either just cut James after the season outright or trade him in free agency. Look, I get it, dude. You want to protect your family and your own health. I totally understand. That's fine. but that is a waste of money down the drain and a bust of a free agent signing because we haven't really seen him on the field and what he could bring. That is a blow to the Bronco offense, but thankfully it's not like, say, Lindsey or, God forbid, Sutton or Locke opting out. That would be deadly on that front. So far, everything looks to be going okay through training camp. They said that stuff has gone fine. There's no major injuries. Team chemistry seems to be going pretty well. Big Fangio's lost apparently a ton of weight. He looked really, he looked like he was really light coming back. This is just, I'm excited to get to football season, guys. I'm excited to see how this develops, but this is going to be a really interesting year. Who knows who's really going to be healthy this year, if anyone's going to be fully ready to go, because this is all going to be about cohesion and playing as a unit, and with a stinted off-season program, who knows if it's really going to be the same. This is going to be a weird year, guys. I really don't know how this is going to turn out. You let me know in the comments below how you think this is going to work. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be really, really interesting. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this new segment. Please sure let me know what your thoughts on all these topics or any topics you may want in the comments below. Anyway, guys, please be sure to check me out on Twitter and Instagram. I'll put the links in the description below. Be sure to check out my blog where I have written extensions of this news segment, and I will write written extensions of every news segment, including series recaps of Rockies games, Avs games, Nugget games, etc. Anyway, guys, this is it for me. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to keep the faith. And let me know what you think the season's going to go by. This is going to be a weird year, but I'm excited that we're very close to having football season back, guys. Keep your fingers crossed. Anyways, that's it for me. See you guys later.